The situation for young volunteers is, well, it's not, well, actually it's a situation for volunteering in general where it can be hard to see what the legal position is because it's not something that's commonly discussed or defined. The main thing with younger volunteers is, well, firstly, there's not a legal lower age limit on volunteering. The only place that there would be for volunteers who are in charity shops, which is a very strange anomaly, but it's because of the way the child employment legislation is drawn up, and that applies where people will be working in an organisation that's carried on for profit. Lots of child employment officers within local authorities regard charity shops as being carried on for profit, even though it's also for social means. And there, you do have to pay attention to the local bylaws around what young people can do in terms of work at what age. Outside of that, there are no restrictions. But the things to bear in mind would be, firstly, insurance, because your insurance policy may not go into the age of 16, for example. So you need to be clear that your insurers are happy engaging young people. Then there are child protection issues to bear in mind, because you may be an organisation that's not actually worked, your service users aren't young people, so you've never really considered child protection issues. Then you're engaging young volunteers who are, by definition, vulnerable, so you may have to think about whether it's appropriate for them to be in particular roles, whether you may need to start carrying out criminal record checks on people who will be supervising them. Especially with the new independent safeguarding authority coming in, you may have to carry out the new vetting and barring scheme checks on people who will be directly supervising young volunteers. I'd also think of it from a health and safety point of view. So, you'll have your risk assessment on the activity, but you can take a bit less for granted with young people. So young people may not have the life experience or the maturity to keep themselves safe. There may be less you take for granted, so you might have to look at maybe a bit more supervision, maybe a bit more training, maybe only engaging young volunteers in group activities so they're not on their own. And the suitability of the activity as well. With some roles do need a bit of, say, for example, mentoring. It's an obvious example that probably does need a degree of maturity and experience. But beyond that, the legal position is the same as for other volunteers, in that you need to think about the health and safety and just look at it from that light.